Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Action.
The secret to happiness is finding something you love and then doing that for the rest of your life.
Hello, and welcome to our very first ever vlog. We're super excited. We've been waiting a little while to share this with you, so here goes.
Here goes nothing.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about our stories and how we actually came to give up our jobs, throw it all away to find our passions and go traveling.
Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
But yeah, so we both arrived at this point maybe a year or so ago when we were both really unhappy with what we were doing. We were bored and we were stuck. And we were probably on a trajectory towards the traditional
path of buying a house, getting married, having kids, doing the Aussie lifestyle dream. But we kind of thought if we stay in that path 60 years, well, when we're 60, we'll kind of look back and go, I don't know if that's exactly what we wanted. So we thought we'd shake things up a little bit, and we might go into how we actually arrived at that point. Yeah,
so we both arrived at the same point, but coming from two very different paths. So how about you kick it off and tell us about your path and how you sort of became onto
so I guess I was at school and my whole schooling life was focused around sport. I was an elite athlete in platform diving. So I did that from a very young age, and I was always involved in sport. I wasn't very academic. Sport took over my life. And in year 10, 11, I had a massive injury, or I had a massive injury before that, which kind of made me rule out being an elite athlete forever. And from before then, career-wise was always going to be something to do with sport. So sports nutrition, dietitian, coach, you name it, whatever it was going to be. So I never really thought past that career-wise until obviously in year 12 when we had to put in our preferences for uni, and I kind of went, I don't really know what to do. So I chose to do a commerce degree, thinking that that was going to be broad enough for me to fall into something that I really enjoyed whilst at uni. And as it goes, I did fall into loving marketing, I think because the theory stuff was quite easy for me, so I did really well. So I fell into marketing. When I finished uni, got a job in an experiential agency, which is essentially like promoting large clients, telecoms, food and bev, to consumers in a variety of ways, so promotions, sampling, you name it.
Thanks for I didn't actually know what that was, so...
Jake always has no idea.
I don't.
Did that for about 2 years, and I found it was, at the end, I was just quite bored, and it wasn't challenging, and I wasn't really using my creativity, so I think I learnt all I could from that and moved on. I moved on to a different role at the University of Sydney Union, which was more of an advertising and sponsorship role, so I got to learn a few more skills within marketing, I guess, and apply myself in a different way, which I found rewarding at first. And then as the years went on, I was there for 3 years, I kind of stopped being challenged and wasn't really being creative at all. And I know my manager knew that I wasn't using my creativity enough, so it was time to leave, I guess, and move on and find something different. So I guess as well, while I was doing that, while I was making money, I was traveling as much as I could.
Yeah, this is cool.
All through uni, basically I was working in a bar to fund my travels. Every time I could, every opportunity I could, I travelled to wherever I could. I've pretty much done it all. Did a massive stint in Europe, did a few times in America, I've done South Asia, and even when I got my first job, it was such a crap salary, but it funded my travel, so I was just in there for it.
So you were basically just working so you could make money, so you could do what you wanted to do, which was travel.
And I think there's a lot of people that do that. They work hard to do what they love. And for me, it was travel, but it was holidaying and travel experiences, and that's what I loved. Yeah. So when I was at uni, or before that even, a loved travel so much, but I never knew that it could become a career,
Yeah.
or, you know, no one at uni makes a career out of it at that stage. So I found that I needed to have a career in order to do what I loved, which was travel.
I think as well, like your path is pretty common. Like I imagine a lot of people in corporate world would bounce from job to job. Like
Yeah.
they do, like you said, you were at this experiential place, you got bored, and so then you were like,
Moved
all right,
on.
I need to do something else.
Yeah.
And then if you hadn't have broken the trend, you would have probably got another job somewhere else
Yeah.
doing something.
I think, there's a lot of people that firstly go to uni not knowing what they want to do, so they just
Yeah.
fall into something, and then they fall into something else.
Yeah.
And secondly, what was the second
Having a
part?
job that you don't like to travel.
Yeah,
or
but
to do
also
whatever
just job.
Ants.
Ants. Ugh. I never know if it's ants on my hair, like that's hair.
Absolutely fucking everywhere.
But yes, people just bounce from job to job because they get bored so quickly,
Yeah.
and I know that I've got a lot of friends that do that as well.
Yeah.
So that's my story.
Yeah.
Jake's is a bit different, so
Yeah, mine's very different, but again, arrived at the same path. So I think as a kid, I always wanted to do something that would make my parents proud and something that would be really well acknowledged in society.
yeah.
And I think that was a massive driving force for me from where I got to being. So as a kid, I always thought the most prestigious thing anyone could do was to become a doctor, and I thought that was a really great thing that I could do because A, it helped people, which thought that would be a really altruistic thing to be doing, and B, it made good money. So I was like, perfect, that's the thing that I need to.
And you would have been held in the highest respect.
Yeah, I would have been really respected, which is something that I was probably craving
Yeah.
as a young fella.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I set about doing everything I could to work towards becoming a doctor. And so I studied in year 11 and 12, and that's what I was working towards. Looking back in hindsight, I actually forgave a lot of, one of the things that I thought of just now actually was in year 11, I really wanted to do photography at school, but I thought, I can't waste time doing photography because I need to be doing more important stuff like chemistry and biology and those kinds of things that are going to set me up down the track. So even in year 11 and 12, I was sacrificing what I wanted to do to do what I thought I should be doing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was playing footy and broke my back, and a friend recommended me to see a chiropractor, and that chiropractor really helped me recover and showed me that there was a more natural way to help the body.
Yeah.
And so that inspired me to become a chiro. I went to uni for 5 years.
Bloody long time.
I was there. It was a very long time.
Yes.
And initially I was probably the most passionate student there. I loved everything about what I was doing, but as the course continued, I started to lose a lot of passion for what I was doing.
Yeah. I guess you were doing a lot of theory-based stuff as well.
Yeah, and everyone is kind of in the same boat. Like I think it was just the university course brings you down. And so I just thought, okay, it'll be great once I'm actually practicing.
Yeah.
And so I graduated, and finally I was a chiro, the thing that I'd set out to achieve, which I was rapt about, and I started
You
work.
made everyone proud.
Yeah, ticked all those boxes that I
Yeah.
thought I needed to tick as a kid.
Yeah.
And then I started working in a dream role, working under Mark Poss, one of Australia's best chiros, and I quickly realised that the actual work I didn't really love. I'd get really nervous and anxious going into work every day. I'd also worry immensely about patients after I'd saw them for the first time. I was like worried if they might have been sorer than they were when they came in or anything like that. So I thought, oh, maybe this isn't for me, or maybe I'm just not doing it right. So the next step in that was to set up my own practice. And I guess that's like you sort of bouncing from
Job to job.
It's like I thought, okay, well that's not right for me, I'll do something else.
Yeah.
So I set up my own business, which was amazing. I learnt so much about so many things, and it was a really cool time. And I spent a year setting up my business and
learning different things, like different skills of actually opening a business, financial
stuff. But yeah, so
branding.
I was
Yeah.
super passionate about that for a year or so, and then once I achieved what I wanted to achieve and create a successful business, I got completely bored.
Yeah.
The excitement had worn off, and I was just left doing what I was doing, and I kind of realized there and then that I probably had been in this position. I kind of had an awareness that maybe I was doing all the right things, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I was doing things to become successful in the eyes of society, even though I wasn't really enjoying what I was doing. So, yeah.
So I guess that takes us to about a year ago.
Yeah.
So probably a year ago this time a year ago, didn't make sense. I moved up to Noosa to be with Jake.
Thanks, Scott.
I'm originally from Sydney, so it was a move interstate for us.
Yep.
And we kind of were obviously at the same point where we were bored and we were stuck, and we felt like if we kept doing this, we'd be doing it forever.
I'd be a cranky old man at 60 who wish he had have done something else.
Yeah. So we kind of went, all right, let's shake things up a little bit. Let's do something a bit different and get out of here and explore the world and find what we're actually passionate about.
And that's when we kind of decided, all right, let's just pack everything up. Let's just sell. I knew that I wasn't happy, and so I was going, all right, let's just sell this business and get out of here.
Yeah. And it was a pretty scary time for you.
It was horrible.
Working out if that's what the thing you've worked so hard for your whole life to pack it up.
So I spent a year pretty much in my head debating about what I should do. I'd created this successful business, and I felt like an idiot to leave it and do something else.
Yeah.
I was super worried about what I would do financially because I hadn't done anything else. I didn't know what I could do to make a living.
Yeah.
I was really worried about what people would think too. I was worried about what my parents would say, telling them that I'd gone to uni for 5 years.
Worked for 5 years after that.
And then I'm just chucking it in. They'd be disappointed that I'd wasted an opportunity that they'd helped me get to.
Yeah.
And I was really worried about what my colleagues would think, knowing that I was going to leave the profession, because most chiros stick at it for forever.
And my story is kind of the opposite, because
Definitely.
I think everyone,
Definitely.
friends and family and my workplace, would have expected me to travel and do something crazy like this at some point in my life.
Always.
I think it's just in my nature. So we decided to pack everything up.
Yeah.
And we've gone on this massive whirlwind of a journey, sold up everything, and kind of, this is where we are right now, I guess.
Yeah, and this trip for me has been about just finding out what I actually do love. And so all we've been doing is travelling, and I've been taking photos, which is something I never got to do in year 11.
Yeah.
Because I was doing chemistry.
Which is super cool, because it's just like a big roundabout way of getting back there.
Yeah. When we started this, we were kind of like, we want to do this forever.
Yeah.
We want to travel forever. We want to be exploring forever.
Yeah.
We realise that we don't want to go down that traditional path of having a mortgage that we can't afford and
we want to be doing something we love forever.
Yeah, and so we kind of go, all right, we need to find a way to make this work long term.
Yeah.
So our goal is to be able to travel full time and
sustain some sort of income.
Yeah, so that we can keep doing what we're doing. And at this point in our time, we have got literally zero idea.
There is no grand plan. There is no manual. There's no nothing. So at the moment, I guess Jake's really enjoying taking photos and doing a really bloody good job of it.
And Jazz is really killing it with writing. And
I'm really enjoying it.
One interesting thing was when Jazz was back in Sydney, because she was travelling so much, everyone knew that she'd travel. People would often ask her to give her itineraries and things like that for their trips.
Yeah.
And so Jazz was actually
used to write tips and travel itineraries for people.
Yeah, and now she's actually doing it everywhere we go, which is really cool. So we don't know how we're going to make this dream a reality, but at this point we don't need to. We're just
going with it.
We're just sitting back and following what we enjoy.
Yeah. So I guess that kind of brings us to our purpose of what we'd like to hope to take out of or put into
give back
the next year or lifetime. I guess we've been inspired ourselves
Yeah.
to find our purpose and find what we're happy with and what we really enjoy doing,
And not settle.
and not settle for something that we don't like. So I
Yeah.
guess we're gonna try to inspire people to just do
No, we're
that.
not going to try. We are going
No,
to
we are.
inspire.
We're going to, I guess, you go.
Yeah, so when I was going through that really tough time in my head, debating about what I'd do and wanting to try something else, but being so shit scared to do it, I was actually really lucky to have some great mentors in my life who taught me that it was okay. They basically said, go for it, have a go, and what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
And without those mentors and people, I'd probably be still doing something that I didn't want to be doing.
Yeah.
And so we want to be a similar voice for people out there who were in the same boat that we were a year ago. We
Might
want to,
feel stuck.
yeah, we just want to show you that, hey, you don't need to have it figured all out. You don't
Yeah.
need to have a financial backing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just have a go and follow what you want to do. For us,
Yeah.
it was traveling and taking photos, but for you, it could be something completely different. So
Starting a singing career or writing a book that
Yeah.
you might have wanted to write for forever. Start sewing, I don't know.
training dolphins,
Yeah, literally anything.
being a Vegemite connoisseur, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how we want to try and inspire you to have a crack.
Yeah, have a go.
Yeah.
Why not?
So
Yeah.
that's us, and so that's what we're going to be vlogging about over the next few.
We've got a really exciting vlog series coming up, but we're not
Yeah.
going to tell you about it now. But
It's pretty cool.
it's awesome. And then I guess there's one more thing that we wanted to talk about, which we've got a lot of questions about,
Heaps.
is how we're funding our travels. Now, for us, we don't have an income at the moment.
No.
But back in about 6 months ago when we decided to do this, we saved so hard.
Saved our absolute tits off.
We really tried to crack down on our expenses.
Yep.
We tried to stop going out and drinking all the time. Before we left, we sold a lot of things. We both sold our cars.
Yep.
You sold your surfboards, which was you kept one.
I
You
know.
kept one. I sold a lot of dresses and a lot of crap that I had that I didn't
Yeah.
need. So we had a large pool of savings.
Yep.
That we're using, which will hopefully fund us for a year.
And it's not that glamorous, so that's how we're
Yeah.
doing it. It's not as hard as people make out to believe.
Yeah,
You've got
exactly.
heaps of extra shit that you don't need that you could sell,
Yeah.
and then you use that money, and then once you're actually doing it, or in our instance traveling, it's a matter of just living cheaply.
Yeah.
We don't try not to spend more than $20 a night, and we budget hard.
We budget so hard. It's just like being at home. You budget and you pay your rent, and then you've got a small amount for food, and then we don't go on shopping sprees. Like we don't live
Lavishly.
lavishly. So that's a massitive thing.
That's
and
how we do it.
I think people have looked at us and gone, "Oh, you've sold a business, so you can just do whatever you want." Nope.
No, we're not using that any of the proceeds that I got from the sale of my business for anything. It's all just based on our
Yeah.
savings. We're not trust fund babies. We don't
Yeah.
have
Oh my
parents
God.
that
People
are.
have said that to us. You come from wealth. That's why you're traveling.
No. So that's the other thing, is we just wanted to show you that it's actually not that difficult to do
Yeah.
what we're doing. It's I think the hardest thing in actually doing this is making the decision to leave
go.
stuff behind. So that's pretty much all that we wanted to talk about. We just wanted to teach you guys where we were from, the fears and stuff that we went through in
Yeah.
order to get to making this decision and start doing this. And also just to let you know that we're having a blast and we're loving
It's so much fun.
doing.
We've
what we're
seen
doing.
so many great places. We've actually seen 2 of the wonders of the world.
Yeah.
One was Komodo National Park, and the second one, I'm not sure how it's on the list because there was already 7 before, and then they've said it's been added. But Halong Bay, which
Yeah.
was stunning.
It was beautiful, and plenty more to see. So
Yeah.
we're going to document this journey, and hopefully by the end of it, we are actually living out our dream of traveling the world full time.
We are already, so
Yeah,
it's super cool.
it is.
Yeah.
Perfect. I reckon that's it.
Yeah, so if you've liked kind of what you've seen, we're going to be doing a lot more of it.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned. Please subscribe to
Yeah.
our channel and
Click a button somewhere in this area to subscribe. That way you'll be able to see all of the next coming videos and the exciting video series we're about to launch.
super excited. Thanks so much, guys. We're going to go for a swim because I am literally dripping with sweat.
Also, if you've got people that you think might be in a similar boat, like they might be
Yeah.
feeling a bit stuck at work, or they might want to do something magical. Please send them this video so that they can see the message that we're trying to spread, and
Yeah.
we want to create a movement as well of people doing what they love. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we're going to go for a swim.
Nice.
See you soon.
Thanks.
Bye. Mwah. Cool.